this 3 to 4 year window that women have in college to build their brands, especially with NIL now. I feel like one of the things that happened with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and Caitlin's Sanity, as it's been called, is the audience had time to get to know them and for them to build their stories in the public mind, which men's collegiate basketball is not doing. And I wonder if you think that's harming the men's audience while it's building the women's audience.
Well, that's the thing. On the men's side, they are fortunate. They have the luxury of being able to do whatever they want. Meaning, you can come into school and you can leave after a year and go pro, and you don't necessarily need your story to be told for you to get generational wealth, right? But this is why I always say, and like, no respect, no shade. I don't want people to take this out of context. But when it comes to brands and storytelling, women do it better because we have no choice but to invest all of our blood, sweat, and tears into everything that we do. And you talked about Clark Sanity, or is it Caitlin Sanity? Like whatever the insanity is,
Caitlin's Sanity,
right?
I think that's the term these days, right? Yeah.
One thing I love is that Debbie Antonelli, I believe she's the one who called it Clarkonomics, like Clark Economics, right?
Yeah.
What she has shown, and I think it's also like this idea, a lot of people talk when it comes to economy and economics about trickle down. What Caitlin has shown is a trickle up. Her success has lifted the tides. The rising tide lifts all boats. And so now you're starting to see more investment wholesale over the women's game, whether it is just companies investing to help broadcast more. I mean, we saw what Big Ten Network and Fox did, particularly when it came to her games. Now you're falling in love with other players because of that investment. To me, that's the beautiful thing. And so when I look at the women's game and I say that women do it better, it's because we understand we can't fall back on this idea that the salaries will be there, even though we're the best athletes in the world. We are the best ambassadors. We are the best endorsers because we understand that typically those endorsements, I mean, you've seen Caitlin's Nike deal, much different than her WNBA salary, right? And that's why we become great and engaged partners, not just for the short term, but for the long term. And I think that's why brands align with us in a way that really benefits us. The men don't have to do that because they can fall back on their salaries as pros. But as women, I think it's been a beautiful, I guess you can say, blessing in disguise. You know, a disappointment in
Yeah.
one regard can be a blessing in disguise because now brands activate us and realize that women are great endorsers.